Oh, shucks. Hi, guys. It's Nikki. Oops, sorry. Ah, wait lang. Highlights. Okay. Ibale. Wait. All right. So, hi, guys. It's January 22, 2021. It's a Friday, and you're watching me, Nikki Yu, also known as Faces Trader for the Awesome10X Philippine Market Update. So take a look at the Philippines. Your index is down 1.3%. Index is down to 7,045 points. Let's go to the index stats, just reading for you. It's 10.9 billion pesos, all the way to the downside, 1.4 billion pesos selling. You've got the lone gainer, GT Cap, AC, San Miguel Corp, FGen, Bloom, URC up. Primarily, everything is down. You could see that PSEI shares are down, all shares down, financials, industrials. Your holdings are down, your properties are down, your mining is slightly up, and then you've got services down. So it's been a red day all day. Let's read all the index movers for you. Ayala Corp 800, 810, nothing much. GT Cap 555, nothing much. San Miguel Corp 129, nothing much. URC 149, nothing. Bloom 8, FGen 31, Emperador 10, Aboitiz Power 186, Jollibee 186, ICT 128, MPI 4.3, DMC 533, Robinson's Land 21, Robinson's Retail 62.6, AGI 10, Meralco 285, Pure Gold 3845, LTG 1314, SECB 133.5, Globe 2060, Mega World 402, BDO 111, Metrobank 46.6, AEV 43.45, JG Summit 72.95, Ayala Land 39.45, PLDT below 1.4, BPI 81, SM Prime 37.6, SM 10.35. So it's very clear to you that actually the market has suffered a lot of losses. It's red because primarily you've seen the market at resistance. We have been harping on and on that the market was at resistance. There was low limited upside if you were still gunning on and holding on to your index issues. And so the market just naturally fell down as it should. Your SM is actually 1035. Your SM Prime is 37.6. A lot of your banks are still at resistances or very limited upside. And that's what you're seeing in the market today. So amongst these index issues, we still remain in the same opinion that your defensives like your PLDT near 1300, your Globe near 1900, your Meralco as it goes down lower near 270 area, 275 area. And actually, your Pure Gold and Robinson's Retail, if they're going to be oversold at these levels of 38 and 62, these are actually primary better opportunities to park your money rather than, well, we're not saying that you're going to make a short-term increase, but you're better off in them rather than, because if they fell, 5 to 10% is an opportunity to buy with an upside kicker of about 20 to 30%. Of course, if Jollibee falls down materially back to about 170 to 160, that might actually be an opportunity to load up on your Jollibee shares. So take a look at your stats today. Take note of the top traded names. You could see the top traded names. Your APL is down, your BSC is up, your AR is up, your DITO is up, your PHA is up, your BDO is down, ASEN is down. You could see that actually the few things that are up today are still the speculative names, which is really still a lower high. So it's not really a buy. They're actually sell on strength. Now your BDO, your assets are still at ranges, they're still at distribution zones. So if you're asking me about the Philippines, the complete Philippine market is not a buy. It's just really wait for your opportunities. When you get a better opportunity, most of it is actually more of a selling zone. It's not really a buying zone. Now, take a look at the top gainers. Do use these increases. As you could see, the top gainers, you've got a lot of speculative names. Volma, ZHI, Ore. You want to actually be taking profits on these names given that they're actually just one night stands. You can take a look at them very clearly. All right. So Volrose, we saw people actually during early months of last few months, they were buying near 118. It rallied to about 236. That's actually a selling area for them. Those who got in at about 1 peso area are willing to sell at $2, 236 areas. So these are actually prime selling regions rather than buying regions. Now, when you take a look at the Philippine market, it's not really attractive. you could see that the most actively traded in the market are mostly what you call penny stocks, speculative names, basura stocks. So you're seeing that the market has really no appetite for any whatsoever buying. Most of your top gainers here are all zero news. It's just going up and down based on people's whims. Top trades, not much. Okay, so you're seeing that THA, it's just an extension. Abra is also an extension. So if you take a look at these charts, they're all extensions. PHA here at about 264. That rally, even if it goes up to $3, it is an extension. So it's still a sell on rallies. And even if it goes 5 pesos, it's still a sell. Abra, still a sell. We got a dip. It went up today, but even as it goes to 90 cents or higher, it's 009. It's not 90 cents. 0090. That's 4 decimal. Then it's still a sell. So these are companies that we don't dare to even discuss because really, what are we gonna discuss this? People buying and selling nothing, junk. So let me just watch the comments, if any. Hi, Nikki, another down day. It's a bad week for APL, OVBS, Abra. Yeah, we don't really cover most of these names. They're really just what we call speculative names. So there's really nothing much to discuss about them. Is it a good time to buy SSI at 141? Seems like it's a double bottom. How about Sun at 194? It's the latest disclosure. All right, let's read the latest disclosure of Sun. Sun, go to the edge. A, go to Sun. SunTrust Home Developers, company disclosures, January 20, acquisition or disposition. All right. So we already know that Sun City is coming into Sun, and let's see what it says here. It's a wholly owned subsidiary. They are submitting the copies of their secretary certificate approval for the Sun City Hotel, which is going to be a tourism-related operation. Okay, so we just know that it's just really an admission that Sun is going to be a hotel and casino resort by next couple of years. So I'm sure that the market was happy with that news. That's why actually Sun City or Sun is actually staying above this 180 plus. So I'd say that we have seen actually Sun actually break out from a 190, 188 levels, and it continues to stay remaining high, right? So I'd say that as long as SunTrust, if you want to buy it, 188 all the way to even as 170 or 160, those are buying opportunities. So you have Sun, just hold on to it, see whether it has resistance here at about 270, 260. Sure, you see that resistance right now, but you also see another resistance. We mentioned to you that 3 to 450 has a lot of resistances for SunTrust because this isn't really an IPO. There was a prior resistance in this level, even if it has been, I think, like 20 years ago. So there was like resistances. We noted about them a couple of in other podcast market updates. We discussed that Sun actually has resistances somewhere in the 350 to 450 zones. Now, what is the support of next of SSI? All right. So SSI continues to be languishing here at about 141. However, we have the opinion, we are a bit contrarian here, that even as the last 5 years saw SSI fall anything but up, it was just falling all the way down. We believe that actually for the last 6 months or 1 year ago, the company SSI has already been transitioning itself. Actually, I'd say it's not even a year ago. They've been in a multi-transformation year, perhaps about 2 to 3 years ago, when they were really trying to go enter the Shake Shack business. You know that Shake Shack Philippines is part of SSI. You know that they are also actively in pursuit of a lot more food opportunities because they've entered with Crystal Jade. So you could see that SSI hasn't been asleep trying to recover and really turn the ship around. So it's a transformational value play. And now in this transformational value play, all you could see is that we got this support at about 90 cents. You got this higher low at about 128. I think that as SSI falls all the way, even to 128, these are just opportunities to buy. Now, take a look that SSI from about April all the way to about November has done nothing but really consolidate. So my behavior tong si SSI to consolidate. It's not fast money. What they want to do is transition themselves. So you want to accumulate here. And if you have spare money, you want to accumulate here. From about 128 all the way to 168, these are all accumulation zones such that when it goes up, you want to see it go up to 208 and then 248 for a more for a more substantial for a more substantial increase in your shares. So you really just want to accumulate your SSI. Nothing to do there. Just accumulate 128 to 168. All right. If you want to actually trade the range, go ahead. Buy 128 near 128. So today's 141. You sell 168. Good day. What do you think about APL, AR, BSE, and Dito, all our basuras, AppV, Basura? Cebu Pacific is a reopening play. You are seeing a lot of 45 below, you've got a lot of buyers. So Seb and Mac are just reopening themes. So it's very low, but you have to wait it out because these are just your prior resistances at 50. It's still getting bought out. It's gonna take time. You might see it take about 3 to 6 months before it breaks out. But when it does, these are your resistances. You've got resistance very clearly from about 70 pesos or even at 64 pesos. Is MAC and BDO finding a good resistance turn support? I'd say that BDO actually has a very strong resistance about 111, 115. So not really strong resistance turning support. I'd say that even if that 110 breaks, you've got 120, you've got 115, and furthermore at 135. So unless like there's a miracle here that that BDO can really suddenly turn the ship around, I'm not sure about that. It could still turn into it's still gonna be resistance. Breakouts might actually be just false breakouts, which is still resistance. Macro Asia, just the same with your Cebu Pacific, just consolidating here. From about 9, you've got a lot of supports at 6 and 550 and even at 5. So you really don't have a clue whether it's going to break out. But really, as time goes by, the more important question is, are we going to recover within a year or are we going to recover our travel? Basically, is travel going to recover in a year or is it going to be 6 months or about 2 years? If you can answer that, the answer will be the recovery is going to be shown in your macro Asian Cebu Pacific. With that said, let me see more questions. Where do analysts get their data? Average PE of PSEI, projected earnings, other valuations, and comparing them. To be honest, these earnings and forecasts are nothing but forecasts, so they can actually value it based on competition, based on drivers. For instance, if you are valuing a bank, then you might as well compare a bank to a bank, and you can compare all the Philippine banks, all the regional banks, whether in Southeast Asia or in the US, those types of things. Now, what is the impact of the list of renewable energy suppliers under the Green Energy Option Program released by DOE? Let's read it. List of renewable energy suppliers by Department of Energy, Philippines. So DOE, Department of Energy, released these Project 5 RE resource mapping, the list of renewable energy suppliers under the Green Energy. Okay, what energy resources are available in the Philippines? Sorry, there's a lot of tabs there, but most of these are all global markets. So most of the news that I'm actually studying and reading are usually global. Advisory to all power sector stakeholders in line with sustaining electric power industry. These are the application statuses, list of energy suppliers under the Green Energy Option Program. So you've got the backman, that would be your FGen and your EDC, right? Your FGen Energy Solutions, your Aboitiz Power Magat, your AC Energy, and your Spark Solar-Powered Agri-Rural Commodity Communities Corporation. So if you actually just look at these, you're seeing that it's EDC, FGen, your ACEN, and your Aboitiz Power. Other than that, everyone else didn't even get approval. So yeah, that just tells you that in the Philippines, the power producers in the renewable energy are the following names. Whoever this Spark Solar Powered is, then it's also another company that's not listed that is actually doing his job. What else? All right. Yeah, that's all, diba? As of December 20, 2020. So yeah. Okay, I hope that answers your question. It just tells you the execution of companies that are actually doing renewable energy, the promises versus the execution. What are the PSE stocks that you are still holding? It's not worth it actually. So I'd say that I mean, if you're gonna ask me, I don't really have plans to buy and hold the Philippines. I mean, yeah, there are some few companies, but A majority of my money is really US. So, sorry. Hi, Nikki. After a sell off, do I need to take note of the ones who recover right away after a sell off on a trader's perspective, or it doesn't mean anything? Actually, guys, I personally think that the Philippine market has value. However, so example, yeah, like there are people, kasi clients have the choice. They can invest in the Philippines, but they can choose to invest abroad, no? So they open accounts abroad. But in the Philippines, example, is SSI a buy? 141. Yeah, it is. We mentioned that PhilInvest at about 97 cents was a great buy. Today, it's still 115. The only problem with these names, okay, some people have PNB, $22, 22 peso. Right now, it's 27. People have Cebu Pacific, 39, 38. We mentioned that. Jollibee, get in, 99, 130. So, we talked about the Popoy Basha names. Pure Gold here about 38. We think it's a good buy entry. Even if it falls 37 or 36 or 35, doesn't matter. Because the important thing is, within the next year or even 2 years, is Pure Gold going to be back to 45? If the answer is yes, if it's going to go 45 rather than 25, then I might as well enter some at 38. That's all. But of course, at the same time, should I invest in the Philippines when I can make double my money abroad? And so if you really ask me some questions, part of the reason why personally I have larger money abroad is because I can see myself making more money abroad. So it's not because there's nothing to invest in the Philippines. It's just that there's more opportunities globally. So about the US market, you can actually listen to the global market update later on. Don't ask this is a Philippine market update, so ask Philippine market news stuff here, not US stuff. And about the sell-off, do I need to take note of the ones who recover right away? You're just telling me that kasi when you're saying recover right away, all you're saying is just price performance, right? But the truth is, think about it. Even if like the recovery mode of many restaurants is gonna take time, buying them when they were really low at about 450, diba? We said, okay, let's go get some Bloomberry at 4 peso for 55 bucks. Casino. You know that it's gonna take a long time. Why would Bloomberry rise to 9, 10, 11? It's gonna take time. Yes, it went to 8. Actually, if Bloomberry falls back to about 7 or 6, you should actually be happy to buy because that is gonna be an opportunity for you to make decent money, right? So I think that it has nothing to do with what's going to recover fast. Because you know what? If your answer is what's going to recover fast, the answer is not in the Philippines. Philippines is not, Philippines is just recovery play. Whereas globally, we're talking about all-time highs, 10x secular trends, diba? Oh, by the way, today is a Friday class. So every Friday, we've got a Friday free class. Just wanted to shout out that every Friday, we have a 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Take note, all of our Friday free classes, easy 100%, 200%, 300%, make money while sleeping. So if you guys simply want to make money while sleeping, I think the right answer there, guys, is join Awesome10X. And I'm talking about global market ideas here. We're talking about secular trends. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about SPACs like EV vehicles. We're talking about clean energy. Now, when you're talking about solar and wind, who's the leader there? It's not the Philippines, guys. The largest is Canadian Solar. Aren't you surprised? Who's the biggest solar panel of Apple? It's SunPower. So those are the kinds of companies that we have in the portfolio. When it talk about like electric vehicles, of course, yeah, you've got some Tesla, you've got some XPeng, you've got some NIO, you've got some, you can even, argue RC Moto, right? We mentioned a lot. So, in fact, guys, today's topic for Free Friday class is additive manufacturing. This is the next frontier for manufacturing industry. We're already up 100% on this. Actually, this is desktop metal, but there's a lot more companies in the additive manufacturing industry. So that's something that you want to listen to. And for the clients or the not members yet, please know that we have a 15,800 pesos annual fee. That is a 21% discount this 2021. You can avail for that until February 12, 2021, before the Chinese New Year is over. Please join our inner circle. You could see the website. It's just awesome10x.com. If you want to make a lot of money, guys, learn how to invest globally. Because at the end of the day, I cannot help people who can't even help themselves. That's it. Bye bye. Thank you.